There's not that much to making a print. It's really only a couple steps. Hey dude. Recording. Hi, this is Nam from Easy Sunday Club, and today we'll be showing you how we turn this, an original watercolor, to this, a fine art print. Thanks for joining us today. I have a whiteboard that I wrote on. No relevant information. The only reason I have it is just to have a pun, Fresh Prince of LA. But in all seriousness, today we're gonna walk you through how to make a print. It's not that difficult to make a print, but when Cathy was starting off as an artist, she was painting art and she was selling original art, but how do we continue to monetize this art past the original art? So we were thinking, oh, maybe we can sell fine art prints and we can sell them to retail stores. In order to do that, we had to go down a rabbit hole, research, and do a lot of trial and error. And the point of this video is to be able to show you guys how we are able to do it so that you don't waste a bunch of time like we did. So there's not that many steps to making a print. At the end of the day, you need an original art, you need a scanner to scan it, you need a computer to edit it, you need a printer to print it, and you need some materials to package it. I want to just take you through the entire workflow really quickly, and then after that we can do a double click on some of the more detailed things you should know.
So I take the watercolor print and I put it into our trusty Epson V600 scanner and use the Epson scanning software. I usually do a high resolution, so you see there I did 450 dp. I do a preview scan to check out the area, and then I actually scan the file. Scanning right now. For more information on the V600, you can check out our studio and office tour. Scan, scan, scan. And then you save the file. And then it pops up. What I'm showing you here, the left is the raw scan. And what Cathy does is she cleans up the image so it looks like what it looks like on the right side. Unfortunately, you can't see all the detail of the raw file, but there's usually dust, some light imperfections that she'll have to clean up. That's why the cursor is going over small parts. If you have to calibrate the color or put a filter over it or make it look any different, then this is where you do all the edits in Photoshop. So it results in a final file that you'll see on the right side. After you have the final file, then you can print it. We're in Photoshop here, and we have the settings. So we have a Epson Fine Art printer, and I'll have to set the paper. I'll have Photoshop manage colors, and then I'll pick the paper that I want to use, which is Ultra Premium Matte, Ultra Premium Presentation Matte. I'll pick the size, which is letter size, and then I'll go to the printer settings to put those settings in there as well. It's going to go through the sheet feeder and the paper that we're going to use, again, Ultra Premium Presentation Matte. We had to go through tons of research about what the proper print settings were in order to find these settings, and a lot of trial and error. Once all the settings for the printer is done, then we actually file print, and then we'll see our nice big Epson printer print out the print. Again, if you want another click of this printer, then you can go to our office studio tour, and I will eventually do a review of this Epson printer as well. If you can see, I put the Ultra Premium Presentation Matte paper in the sheet feeder, and I have 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I put in there, but the surface that I actually print on, the image size I actually print is 8 by 10. That's a standard print size for frames. Print is done. I take it out, and like I said, the image size is 8 by 10, and that piece of paper is 8.5 by 11, so I have to trim it down using our paper trimmer. I have a review of this in a previous video as well, so you can go check it out over there. Last part is put the backboard behind the print and then put it in the cellophane sleeve. And then the print is ready to sell. We also have videos on how to package prints.
Pretty freaking fun, right? So that's how you make a basic print. Some things I wanted to delve into a little bit more. When Cathy makes her watercolor art, she makes it on watercolor paper, and what happens with watercolor paper is that it buckles from the water drying, and there's also a bunch of ridges and imperfections in the paper itself. So we're going to make a separate video on how to clean up a watercolor to make the file ready for an actual print, but just wanted to make that call out there. Second thing I wanted to talk about is the paper. When you are making an art print, the paper, the final product that you're making for your customer, super important what type of paper you want to use. The way that we were able to figure out our paper is that we looked to other artists that we really look up to. One of them is Lisa Condon, and we try to see like, what paper does Lisa Condon use? Whatever paper she uses, if she uses it for art prints, probably good enough for us. So the common paper that a lot of artists use is called Epson Ultra Premium Presentation Paper Matte. So that's what we use for our art prints now. Reason why we like this paper is that it's super white, so the colors pop. It's matte, so it's not shiny, as opposed to when you print out photos, that surface is shiny. And also, it's not super expensive to purchase for yourself or when you sell it to your customer. And also, the paper is thin enough that it feeds through the auto sheet feeder of the printer. So for thicker paper, it doesn't go through the auto sheet feeder. You have to feed it into the printer one at a time. So when we're printing in volume, it can take a really long time if you're feeding the printer one at a time. The reason why we scan in such a high resolution is so that we can print the same file to different sizes. So we can print anywhere from this size, which is 8.5 by 11, that will make an 8 by 10 print, to a much larger size, like 17 by 22, which is the maximum size that our printer can handle. Another call out of the different paper that we use is this paper right here in this box, which is called Hot Press Bright Ultra White paper. And this is a premium paper, so it's about $1 a page, whereas Ultra Premium Presentation Matte is about 25 cents a page. So for these, we use them for our limited prints, and the paper is much thicker, much nicer, and even bright, a brighter whiteness. So your prints look super duper nice. that's pretty much it for how to make a fine art print. I hope you learned a little bit from it. Please subscribe, please make comments, and I hope to see you guys back here really soon.